I think there's a clear answer to this, and we'll see after this video. So watch this video with me.
Just turned 56. And 40s were my favorite decade. I think I really customized. And I found that to be true for a lot of people, especially a lot of the men I talk to. They go, man, 40s, ooh, you get rid of all that stuff where you're wasting your time and you're honing in on the stuff that turns you on. Look, 50s, I'm still in the first few years of 50s were a little wobbly for me. So you go, oh, is this that midlife crisis? And I go, well, what is that? I don't like the word crisis on that. Sounds like a midlife, for lack of a better word, opportunity. It's a time where, for whatever reason, man looks back and goes, what have I done? And now where am I going? And I think my hunch is that most people go through what they call a midlife crisis. And if it's hard for them or not healthy for them, it's because maybe they're not giving enough credit to what they actually have done to get there. It's like, oh, no, I did that.
Yeah.
Done.
I looked at my 40s, I was still raising kids. And I didn't, when you're that age, your kids start to get older. They're moving out of grade school into high school, and they're graduating, moving on to college, and you become an empty nester. And I think probably a lot of people in their early mid 40s, some are later, some don't hit that point until their 50s. But I think when you get in your 50s and later in 50s, the kids are gone and you have a lot of time. This is what I try to tell people when they're younger, that, listen, raising kids is only a short period of time. The 30s, the 20s is a short period of time. Not just raising kids, it's your career, it's life, that's moving at a pace that you're trying to, get the finances in order, get the house, situated where you're going to live, your job's moving around, whatever that case. Them 20s and 30s are hectic. You don't have time to focus on a lot of different items, right? But when you get in your 50s and your 60s, there's a lot of free time. And I try to tell people, look, this doesn't last that long. These 20s and 30s things, even mid 40s, they're done. And when you move in your 50s or 60s, obviously 70, I'm not there yet. But where I'm at, I look at, there's a lot of time to work on yourself, to work on things that you enjoy when you're in your 50s and 60s and 70s. There's so much time to look at, hey, how can I help my community? How can I help myself? How can, I work on my house or my hobbies, or, pick up another hobby or pick up another job or these things. You have so much time. And I look at like 50s, right? 50s, if you're going to live to your 80, 85, even close to 90, that's an extremely long time. That's a lifetime, right? I mean, if you take the time when you graduated until 50, that's what, 32 years? And then you look at 50 to 82, that's a whole, thing that you can concentrate on yourself. You can, build confidence. You can learn a language. You can, learn another computer skill. You can learn some hobbies. You can get involved in charitable work. There's so much time after that. And I agree that we don't look at these things as, that part of life where you think, I'm going to get there. I was talking to a gal the other day, and she was, the kids were so much for her to handle. And I'm thinking, everybody told me when I was young, you better enjoy it because once they're gone, they're gone. And you can't put that in a frame. You can't put that in a box. You can't put that into clear thinking because everything's happening so fast. There's so many things that you're doing. You're worried about the house, all these activities, what you're going to do for all these holidays, the birthdays, all these things are coming at you. Even if you're single or you're married, just that alone, you're always thinking about where I'm going to live and what I'm going to do for the future and all these things. But when you get to your 50s, I think that end of it is eliminated. And you have all this time, you think, what am I going to do? And that's why I think a lot of people, they resort to doing nothing at all because they just don't see the longevity of it. I know there's, you know, medical issues and there's issues that come along with just trying to do things. But I think that at that time you need to push harder. And that's what I try to do. I look at things, okay, I'm going to fight this aging thing. And I've been fighting it because I know I like my independence, right? And a lot of people don't look at it that way. I don't listen. I'm not trying to judge anybody here. I'm just looking at myself. I don't want to be put in the situation where I can't function or I'm not thinking. I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly working out. I'm constantly trying to remember, pushing things, my brain to remember things. So all these avenues, I watch when I'm eating. I watch my calorie intake, what's coming in, all these different things that I'm not just going to sit down and think. I think that the confidence comes with the time you have to change. I mean, I don't think there's, oh, I'm done with life. No, your life is just beginning. So eh, when the kids are gone and all these things and you're bringing in grandkids, even if you don't have any kids, you're still, once that job is done, you're looking forward, like, hey, I can either, work charitable work, I can go out and learn a hobby, all these things that you can do. And I think that's where the confidence comes. I think you learn more, you work on your mental aspect because it's a job to work on your physical aspect of your body, what you're putting into it, how you're working out your brain activity, what you're putting in your mind. Are you constantly training it? So as you get later in life, you're not losing these things. You're just getting old. You know what I mean? That's all it is, your age. So, I mean, there's so many times, I couldn't tell you how many times that I've met people that are 60, 61, 62, 63, 55, 59. And if you were my age, they always say, if you were my age, and this aging thing, and I'm getting old, and this is all the things that's happening to me, and then I say to them, I'm 63. I'm way older than you are, or the same age, and they look at me like, holy crap, you know, and they just stop. They stop their complaining. They stop whatever they're doing, and they change the subject because they realize that somebody else is coming at them with a different perspective, like, hey, I can't, they think I'm younger. Most people think I'm way younger than what I am. Maybe I look that way, maybe I feel that way, maybe I talk that way, whatever. So I have to agree. I think that your 40s I don't remember my 40s because I was still raising kids. I was still you know, uh, working hard, and I still do, but the family life and all these other things that were still going on. But I don't look at like I'm in a midlife. I never felt like a midlife crisis. I never felt that. I never thought I had to run out and buy a sports car or, change my way clothing or, get a new wife or, you know, all these other things that midlife crisis, so to speak. I don't know if it's true or not. I never had it happen to me. I never felt like I had to go out and made an extreme change to sell a house and buy a bigger one or smaller one or, them type of things, or had to buy something that would make me feel like I achieved or I feel younger or whatever. I never felt that way. So I can't relate on that end of it. But anyways, so tell me what you guys think about this. Do you feel that you're in a midlife crisis? Do you feel your 40s, um, your 50s, your 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, however old you are? Did you look at it a different way when you got there? Did you feel like, hey, what am I going to do now? And do I feel more confident now that I don't have all these responsibilities? Whatever it is, let me know. I appreciate that. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye now.